Well, if I'm going to get this project started, one of the first things I've got to do is clean out this greenhouse. It's still the middle of January, maybe a little bit past January. I don't remember what date it is, but I think it's the 23rd or something like that, 25th, something in that area. Anyways, so it's still the middle of winter, and these are remnants of leftover tomato plants, and actually I didn't plant these. They were all volunteers from last year, and I'll show you a little bit about how that happens. But anyway, I've got to get these down, and these were all put up here with their hung on strings, and all I really need is a pair of scissors, which I have right here, and I'll start cutting these down, and I'm gonna probably take these all outside, just throw them outside. I do have some compost facility room in here, but I don't have any more room for composting stuff, so I'll have to throw it outside, and maybe in the springtime I'll go out there and try to pile it up and make a good compost pile out of it. But there's another thing I want to do. Before we do that, let me show you some other things here. Now, in the first video, I was showing you this grow pipe, and as you can see, it does go all the way underneath the tomatoes. So that's another reason I've got to get the tomatoes out of there, because I want to plant some things in here. Now you can see there's some peas in here. Some of them are growing quite well. Now these peas were planted about a month and a half ago. You know, and they're growing, and it shows you that peas, it freezes in here quite regularly, and it gets well below the freezing point. And it doesn't bother the peas. Now, they don't grow really well when it's that cold. But anyway, some of these I'm going to have to replace because some of them look like they've got root rot problems. And so, anyway, I've got to get this out of here. And, well, there's one that's growing real good. I swear I just put that in there a couple days ago, you know, just through the hole. And look at that, it's growing quite well. Anyway, got to grow peas there. And then on the bottom here, I'm going to plant beans, so I've got to clear all that out. So let's get going here, and I'll start cutting these down. And I've got some over there too that I've got to cut down. So here we go. Let's see what we can do. There's one. There's another. And there's some that are growing over the top of that light. I don't know if you can see it. There's a light up there, and they grew over the top of it. So let's see if we can just cut some of these vines here. You can probably see how enthusiastic these vines got. These are tomato vines, all of them. They're indeterminate tomatoes, which means that's what they do. They grow in vines, and they just keep growing and growing and growing until they die because of frost or something like that. So that's why they're the way they are. Well, I've got them pretty well off of the trellis now. But now there's like 6 or 8 plants here that have big old tree trunk vines on the bottom. So I've got to cut those or I can't move it. So I'll have to kind of try to roll it up and use my heavier duty cutters to cut those. And there's one. There's still a lot of tomatoes left on them too from last year that we just never picked because there were just so many. We put up salsa and tomato juice and other things, but we just had too much. And it was just from this batch and that batch behind me there. Tomatoes are very prolific, especially in a greenhouse. Now, so look at the size of that vine. I don't know if you can see it from there, but they're really big. These, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen tomatoes like that. Let me just cut this off and show you. Look how big around that is. Now here's the original string that I put on it, and I usually just wrap these around, but this is a slip knot here, and as you can see, as it got taller and taller, the slip knot kind of choked this thing. So I can get it off of here. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. Anyway, the slip knot kind of choked this vine, but yet it still didn't bother it. See, there's the bottom part where the nutrients go up, and there's the top part. And this went clear up to the ceiling like that with that choke point in there, and it still did fine. And I guess there's a better way to do this where you don't end up with a choke point on that, but this is just simple nylon string, and it worked, so no problem. You'd think there would be because of that restriction there, but there wasn't. Well, okay. There's the mound of gunk, so I'll pick this up and throw it outside, and then I got to clear all this out. Maybe get it wet first, just so that the ground's a little softer, and then I can basically use a hoe or something to chop all the weeds out or something like that. But anyway, there it is. Well, that's a good start, I guess. So a lot more to do, but anyway, I've got the big bulk of this out, and as you can see, the pipe is really there, and we're going to be able to use it now. Okay, well, there's my little pile of dead tomato vines. So we'll just let that sit there until the weather warms up, and we'll compost it down. And inside the greenhouse, now we have some clear space. I've got some more to do, I guess. There's on the other side of that trellis fence. Still a lot of tomato vines I've got to cut out of there, but at least it's clear in here now. So progress.